Well, certainly been a while, hasn't it? Welcome back to Inside Nova, brought to you by MSN. We got our executive producer here, Toddy Turns Left. I'm Ethan. Got my co-host JDM on the other side here.
We're actually alive and back.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's been a while.
A lot of the seasons have already passed, so let's get to that. Let's talk about the point standings, shall we? So, unfortunately, they have not been updated for Atlanta, which we have just run on Sunday. But we do have the Calabogie standings. And as of this, Mike, the new driver at Bud Bernards, is behind his teammate by 24 points, still within a race. But Atlanta was not very kind to the 87 driver, but it was kind to the 24, who finishes second. Unfortunately, the driver he was trying to catch won the race.
Gulp.
Also, some tough luck has befallen the 18 car. Subpar performance at Calabogie and Atlanta has put him back in the championship standings with some, let's just say, less than flattering rumors.
Yeah, they're fake news.
Whatever you say, man. But looking back on the light side of standings, Unfamous has decided to just kick faces in this season in the light series. Zelp, a rookie, 7 top 3s in, I believe, 8 starts, which is very similar to Fox's stats from last season, but he had 7 top 3s in 12 starts. So we're probably looking at a runaway champion right now in D2. Zelp is 100 points ahead of Afasik, driving for J2 Racing. Very respectable stats, but hasn't shown up since Charlotte. And it's been pretty much all she wrote for that championship.
I kind of knew how it was going to go.
Fair enough, but I thought it would be a little bit more competitive. I thought Fox would run more races.
That's true. He's kind of been MIA everywhere, really.
Yeah, it might be. Maybe taking a personal break since we usually have to race in these like light suit cars and stuff.
Honk
Yeah,
me,
sometimes
me.
the lower horsepower can be kind of boring.
Yeah, but it can get really exciting later on, so whatever they got.
Fair enough. And also with the new series, Nova NIA, we do have points done after Atlanta. And Brody, a driver who is in his rookie season for the series and in Nova, is currently running away with it, 47 points ahead of a primary host for D2 and D1, Crown, who has yet to score a top 5 this season.
Oof.
Brody has 3 top 3s, 5 top 5s, over 100 laps led, dominated Atlanta, but Simply Discharge will get the win, or did get the win, excuse me, in overtime. We still have 4 races left in this Division 3, and if Brody were to slip up or miss something, everyone will be right back in the fight. But I believe that's enough talk about the point standings for now. Because now we have to talk about Atlanta as a weekend.
Right.
It was
And
mostly good. I think it was. The trucks were fun.
yeah.
Trucks were pretty quiet for their standards, only around 4 cautions. We did have a cycle of green flag pit stops, which was really fun, but then that was immediately ruined by a caution. But we saw some fun drivers up at the front. We saw Brody. Pancake led some laps. Prince Will didn't really leave the top 4 this race.
Yeah,
He was very fast.
I was honestly surprised seeing Princeville in the front since, usually since last time when he had his team Prince Motorsports, we usually saw him somewhere in the back in the light series, but he's finally stepping his ground in NIA. I'm glad he's finally getting the speed he needs.
Indeed. And also, I have an update. Vintage has finished on the lead lap in 7th.
Never thought I'd see the day.
Got his laps back due to some cautions. Finishes 7th. Ahead of some drivers that looked like they were going to take the win. TCT, who led some laps, and ends up finishing 9th. And Gokhan showed up to Charlotte, didn't really do anything, and finishes dead last at Atlanta. We only had 10 trucks show up, which probably is why the race was cleaner than normal. But honestly, it was a good show.
Yeah. Night in America and the Cup Series were really good, but of course, the light series ended up getting an off week, so this must have been a personal choice because of what happened at last season's ender at Atlanta. If you know, you know.
That is very true.
It's a train wreck.
Got my
least
top
I made
10.
that.
It was a train wreck.
Got my top 10 out of it though, so it was all worth it in the end for it.
How many people showed up in
Certainly.
those?
I was one of them, but I know there's like a few people.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure something out right now. But now to talk about the D1 race at Atlanta. We had a few runs where we got to see how drivers were on older tires and how fast they could be in the pits. We saw 2 Bud Menard's cars battling for the lead late out of the pits. But unfortunately, it didn't last very long because soon a caution would come out. And it would shuffle up the field quite a bit.
Midnight Club on Midnight Club crime.
True. You did see Pethos and JDM go around to bring out the yellow on that long green flag run. But we did have a semi-decent clean finish at the end with a 2-car wreck on the white flag. Still a little hazy on what happened there personally, but the driver of the 20 did get the better of the 29 and the 24, who were up there the entire race. And that's about it for Atlanta. Next, we got... Oh, the articles are coming back. Well, that's neat.
Yeah.
MSN's articles for the Nova races, recapping the events of the weekend, are potentially coming back, which would be a very fun read throughout the week.
Yeah, and in some form they actually did make its comeback, but it was on a different website. So I'm apparently having some issues with the current MSN website as of right now. So I ended up having to go through a different website and have my thing published.
Very interesting there.
Yeah, I'll link it down in the description, but for now you can go to rbctelevision.org/sport if you want to go check it out.
Indeed, that is rbctelevision.org for all your future Nova news in article form. Now, some sad news.
Right.
Off Rails Racing has closed its doors. After fighting for a D2 Owners Championship just one season ago, the season is all but over for this plucky little team. Team owner Vintage has made the decision to close their doors with only a handful of races left in the season, and has fired championship contender Verge from last season and last season's Daytona season opener winner DJ Kinglord.
Yeah, that is
So that is some sad news.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest, I only heard about Arfos letting go DJ and Verge. I mean, it's but I didn't know that they were gonna cease operations. I mean, DJ and Verge, I really liked them, and they were making some big moves in the Nova scene. But both of them, they're growing out of War Racing, and we're ready to move on. So it's understandable. But I wasn't expecting Arfos to shut down. It honestly came out of nowhere.
I mean, they kind of didn't have any replacements.
That is true. Not a lot of light series drivers, at least this time around. I say this as we totally haven't had 32 different drivers show up to try and score points. But it is sad. Off Rails was one of my personal favorite teams to look at throughout the season. As disastrous as their team owner is on a racetrack, he did know how to find talent and compete, stay consistent with his drivers, at least in the points. And yeah, it's a real shame. But sadness aside, we have some things to look forward to, like the championship fight. If your name isn't Vitawa, JDM, or Litman Nick, this is not going to be. This will be somewhat pleasant news, as the driver of the 20 gets a needed win at Atlanta to extend his points lead, and triumphs over the 24 and 29 duo of Tala and Litman Nick, the old guard of the Nova / VRA scene. But we do have some tracks that do favor those drivers a little bit more than the 20. Tawa is historically good at Indianapolis and Watkins Glen. Martinsville, I'm actually unfamiliar with their history with either track, but this does seem more like a 29 track than a 24 track. And Homestead, it's an unknown product for everyone, at least in the Nova side of things, because these cars have never driven on that track yet. And we'll see that in August.
Maybe we'll get a surprise winner.
I have a feeling that it's going to be a winner that we all kind of expected to get one. Personally, I think CK is going to win Homestead.
That could work. I'm surprised. I'm honestly. It's also because he hasn't shown up a lot, like as much as we expected. But I expected him to.
He has shown up.
Something.
He just hasn't.
Well, not as
races.
much. Yeah, I feel like he hasn't been attending the actual like race. Whether it's he's not showing up or he's not qualifying. I'm very surprised with, I guess, his lack of one-lap speed, you could say.
Yes.
Where he's missing races and qualifying pretty deep in the field.
The driver of the number 1 Koimoshi machine, championship contender last season off of pure consistency, gets back-to-back wins at the end of the season. has struggled to find consistent speed this season. Misses the first 3 races and was already in a hole. But then he follows through the next week at Phoenix. The points leader misses the race, missing all of practice. And CK goes out and wins the pole and finishes second. And in the 4 races that the number 1 car has made, he has finished on the podium every single time. So as soon as he gets into the race, he'll be fighting for a top spot. Also, we have some news on the team standings, at least for now. Bud Bernard's Racing, as of Calabogie, is about I would say about 87 points ahead of Koimoshi, who won the Owners' Championship last season with their drivers, their dynamic duo of CK and AJ. But due to AJ abruptly backing out of the season, their points, and with CK missing 4 races, their points total has been in jeopardy. But they did salvage a decent run with their third driver, Pink, putting together the lap of the gods at Atlanta Motor Speedway and finishing 6th and leading a lot of laps in that 0-1 machine. It's a great run for him. And unfortunately, I think I have run out of things to talk about.
All right. Yeah, and it has been the runtime is 17 minutes, so I guess we can mention some things that weren't mentioned.
How do you think Martinsville's gonna go? Is it gonna be another dirt track?
Death.
Nuclear strike has struck Martinsville.
Oh, I just remembered something.
Okay.
After much clamoring from the drivers about the lack of micro inputs in the cars, just how difficult they are to drive, at least consistently, the head developer Bud has finally given in and given the cars at least a semblance of more precise inputs that the drivers could give. Which led to way better driving race cars at the unforgiving old Atlanta Motor Speedway. And now, with Indianapolis coming up, a track known for its absolute precision that you need in order to be competitive, we might see some way better racing.
Yeah.
Right. So we know the Light Series will be doing the, I believe, like the Light and the Cup Series will be doing like the normal Indy track. While I believe Night in America is doing the
Indianapolis Raceway Park.
Yeah, the
short
course?
track.
Oh, short track. Okay.
We're going short track racing.
Yeah, I got a bit confused.
Short track racing on a Friday night, 100 laps. Tune in on MSN.
Yeah, I also got a bit confused because I thought it was gonna be like the normal all the way around, since Lion Cup are also doing it this weekend.
That'd be really funny seeing the trucks at Indy. It'd be a super speedway.
So, I'll say this real quick before we actually end it here. I've been saying a few times where MSN was shut down, but I reversed the decision since I know I reversed the decision to shut down MSN, but I am actually losing interest in streaming, and it is. I mean, it is unfortunate for me to say that, but there, there are some points where you just like don't want to do it anymore. But it's there.
Well, we do appreciate your efforts at MSN and all the other streamers that we've had throughout Nova's history and VRA for the most part, even though I wasn't there for that.
Interesting timeline that you weren't there. Honestly, at the
Yeah, I've
You
heard
were
about the
YouTube
less
video.
than stellar streams from C Sports. But ever since you stepped in, we've had better and better quality broadcasts. Unfortunately, due to some issues, there is no mound this season. Scheduling conflicts.
Please come back next season, finger crossed.
And we appreciate you stepping up to deliver the people their broadcast for these races.
Yeah, I honestly want to thank both of you guys for that. Since and other than that, I think that's all we have for this episode, and it's only been 21 minutes, 22 now, and
Yeah, despite everything that's happened, it hasn't just. Oh, wait a minute. There are some things we haven't gone over yet. First time winners.
okay.
All through the divisions.
True. For example, we saw Simply Discharge get the win at Atlanta. I've mentioned this before. In overtime, under caution. But also we saw a first-time winner at Bristol. Ethan Gamer the Fan scores his very first Nova win under the lights. We saw JDM in a photo finish with Tawa at Charlotte barely get the win there. His first ever win in Nova.
Yay.
We also saw at the short track at Five Flag Speedway out, was it Lakeland, Florida?
Yeah, something like that.
Oak steals the win away from Litman Nick on a late race restart and runs away to get her very first win and her very first start. And then the very next day at Calabogie, a road course, a very, very technical road course, she's dominating the race. And then unfortunately, she bottles Sector 3 twice and gives the win to Gak. On the white flag. But looking back at some of these names that have... Oh, I forgot. Pancake has also won his first race in the Nova Series. Well, under the Nova banner at Pocono.
Yeah.
And then he sweeps the weekend by winning the D1 race as well. So that's good for him. We also saw another first-time winner in the Cup Series as Bud Bernard's driver Mike, battling for the championship, got his first ever win in Nova in the Cup Series at the brand new Tokyo Street Circuit that was ran over a month ago. Gets the win after a very messy overtime attempt as his teammate goes spinning out of turn one. But I do believe that covers at least the new winners, other than Zelb having 2 wins at Phoenix and Iowa.
Yeah, it's been a
Yeah.
little bit boring.
We're just in a quiet part of the season at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
We're
saving
probably going to see a lot of things ramp up in these final 4 weeks.
Yeah, they're saving the chaotic stupid stuff for last.
But now, I believe that is everything we have. So I would like to thank you all for listening in on Inside Nova, brought to you by MSN. I am Athen, co-host JDM, executive producer Toddy Turns Left, and we will see you whenever we have something to talk about.
Or we remember this exists.
And hopefully not longer than a few weeks or so.
True. All right, take care.